secures a dramatic twist in a tale that began with a simple home invasion, ending in tragedy. A 20-year-old woman from Point Cook allegedly entered a unit in Melbourne CBD at 2 a.m. on Tuesday, brandishing a knife and demanding items. What followed was a confrontation between the intruder and two residents, a 28-year-old man and a 24-year-old woman, who restrained her until police arrived. By the time officers reached the scene, the woman was unconscious and required CPR. Despite efforts, she succumbed to her injuries the next day. The homicide squad is now investigating, raising questions. Was self-defense justified, or did the situation spiral beyond control? Share your thoughts in the comments. Should homeowners be allowed to use force against intruders? Or does this case expose gaps in legal protections for both victims and perpetrators? But here's where it gets controversial. In a remote indigenous community in the Northern Territory, a 28-year-old man escaped from a police car mid-arrest. Officers had him handcuffed in the back when a group of up to 10 community members reportedly ambushed the vehicle, throwing objects, including a rock that struck an officer in the head. While no serious injuries were reported, the incident highlights a tense standoff between law enforcement and local populations. Could this be a symptom of deeper systemic issues, or an isolated act of frustration? We'd love to hear your perspective. Meanwhile, in Sydney's inner west, a 61-year-old pedestrian was struck by a taxi at a crosswalk. The 56-year-old driver, who administered first aid, claims he didn't see the man due to a sudden turn from Darling Street. The victim was hospitalized in stable condition, and police are still piecing together the sequence of events. Should stricter rules be enforced for drivers navigating high traffic zones? Or is this another example of human error that's impossible to eliminate entirely? And this is the part most people miss. A 37-year-old man from Canberra faces 19 charges for violating a family violence order. He allegedly showed up at his ex-partner's workplace and followed her to her university, despite being legally barred from either location. What's more, he reportedly left cryptic messages via bank transfers. This case raises a critical question. Are current FVOs too lenient, or do they rely too heavily on victims to report breaches proactively? Share your views below. Do you think the justice system is doing enough to protect those at risk? In a heartbreaking story, a Melbourne mother is fighting for accountability after her 3-year-old daughter's death. Miranda Jowett's child, Dio Kep, was turned away from hospitals and a GP multiple times before sepsis claimed her life. A coroner ruled that better medical attention could have saved her. Jowett now urges doctors to trust parents' instincts, especially for children with disabilities like Down syndrome, who may struggle to communicate symptoms. Is the healthcare system failing vulnerable patients, or are there systemic pressures that prevent timely care? This is a conversation worth having. Overseas, an Australian grandmother faces a 6-year prison sentence in Japan after her appeal to avoid drug smuggling charges was denied. Donna Nelson, 59, claims she was scammed into unknowingly carrying 2 kilograms of methamphetamine. Her case has sparked debate. Can someone truly be held responsible for a crime they didn't intend to commit? Or is this a harsh but necessary stance against drug trafficking? We're curious to hear your take. Closer to home, counterfeit $50 and $100 notes are circulating in Ballina, NSW. Police are urging the public to check for security features like the clear window and the Australian coat of arms under light. But what happens when fake money becomes a regular threat? Should businesses refuse cash entirely, or is education the key to preventing such crimes? Let us know your thoughts. Finally, a theft with a side of heartbreak. A woman allegedly stole wigs meant for children battling cancer in Richmond, Victoria. The items were set to be delivered to a hospital, but the thief vanished with them in a car. How do we balance compassion for offenders with the urgent needs of vulnerable patients. This isn't just a crime story, it's a test of our collective humanity. What would you do if you witnessed such a theft? Share your answer in the comments.